You've seen it, right? Generative AI feels a little bit like magic. It can create things in just a few seconds that would take a person hours, maybe even a lifetime. But, like any good magic trick, there's a secret to how it works. And there's a hidden price. So let's pull back the curtain.
I mean, you can ask it for something completely ridiculous, and somehow it just delivers. A Shakespearean toaster? Sure, why not? Hark, what light from yonder kitchen breaks? It is the toaster, and its glow speaks. This isn't just a fun party trick. It's showing us how AI can actually mimic really complex human creativity.
And it's not just about words either. AI can whip up these stunning, photorealistic images of things that have literally never existed. This isn't some simple cut-and-paste job. No way. It's a completely new synthesis of ideas, creating a whole new reality from just a simple line of text.
And if you go beyond all the artistic stuff, it's an absolute powerhouse for productivity. It can write actual, functional code. This incredible versatility, though, it brings up a huge question. Where does all this knowledge actually come from? How does a machine know what a horse looks like, or how to write like Shakespeare?
Well, the answer isn't magic. It's data, an almost unimaginable amount of data. You see, the power of these AI models comes directly from what they've been trained on. And what they're trained on is, essentially, a massive library of all of our human knowledge and creativity.
Think of it like this. These models are fed this enormous diet of human expression. We're talking websites, books, scientific papers, photos, art, music. I mean, basically a huge slice of our collective digital culture. It analyzes all of it to learn the patterns, the styles, and the structures of how we communicate. Okay, so here's where we hit a really critical distinction. For years, we've used something called text and data mining, or TDM, to analyze data to find insights, for things like scientific research. But generative AI, that's a whole different beast. It doesn't just analyze the data, it processes that data to replicate its style and then create something totally new. One is about discovery, the other is about creation, and that single difference is at the very heart of two enormous problems.
So the first problem is that classic garbage in, garbage out scenario, but just blown up to a societal scale. If the data an AI learns from is biased, well, guess what? Its outputs are going to be biased too.
Let's put it this way. Imagine you're teaching a student, but the only library you have is filled with books containing outdated stereotypes and historical prejudices. That student's view of the world is going to be pretty skewed, right? Well, AI is no different. It learns from the internet, a place that reflects both the very best of humanity and the absolute worst.
And this isn't just some vague concept. The biases are specific and they are systemic. Research has shown that AI systems can reinforce cultural stereotypes, gender and racial biases from the data they're fed, and even socioeconomic biases. This isn't a technical glitch that can be patched. It's a direct reflection of our own societal inequality, and now it's being encoded into our most powerful new tools.
Now, the second major problem. This one is a legal and ethical minefield, and it has kicked off a massive conflict between the tech giants and pretty much all creators. It all comes down to one word: copyright.
So here's the crucial point, and it comes from a really deep study done for the European Parliament. They argue that when an AI model trains on copyrighted work, it's not just learning the way a person does. It is actively making copies, internalizing them, and then using them to create new things. And that active reproduction, they say, goes way beyond any legal exceptions made for simple data analysis.
And believe me, this isn't just a theoretical debate. This exact legal interpretation is the foundation for major lawsuits being filed right now by artists, authors, and huge media companies against AI developers. This is a high-stakes battle being fought in courtrooms as we speak, with billions of dollars on the line.
Which brings us right to the core of the whole dilemma. Are these AI companies just creating tools that learn from public information, kind of like a human artist would? Or are they committing the largest mass copyright infringement in history by just taking and using creative works without asking?
The way things stand right now, the system creates what experts are calling a value gap. AI companies are generating just immense value from the creative work of millions of people. But the original creators get, well, nothing. No say in the matter, no credit, and certainly no compensation for their contributions.
Okay, so the problems are pretty clear. You've got bias and you've got copyright. But the good news is that policymakers and experts aren't just pointing out the problems. They're actively trying to design solutions to build a fairer system. To tackle this, European policymakers have come up with something called the three-pillar accountability test for any potential solution. First, transparency.
Can a creator even find out if their work was used? Second, fairness. Is there a real system for sharing the value that's being created? And third, enforcement. Are there actual teeth to make sure everyone follows the rules? Any real solution has to nail all three.
And this isn't about blaming just one group. This framework shows how responsibility can be shared across the entire ecosystem, from the folks who put the datasets together, to the developers building the models, to the platforms that host them, and even to us, the end users. Everyone has a role to play in making things like licensing and fair payment actually work.
So how do we actually get creators paid? Well, there are a few models on the table. A statutory license would basically work like the system for playing music on the radio. AI companies can use the work, but they have to pay for it. Direct licensing is what we're already seeing, with big publishers making deals directly with AI companies. Or you could just have a simple levy or tax on AI services and then distribute that money back to the creators. Each one has its own pros and cons.
Ultimately, all of this leads us to the final and most important question. This isn't just a technical problem or a legal problem, it's a fundamental choice about our values. Do we want a future where innovation just steamrolls over the creators whose work it was built on, or can we design a system that encourages progress while also ensuring fairness, transparency, and respect for human creativity? That's the real price of progress, and it's a price we all have to decide on together.